My fellow Americans, in less than 24 hours, on January the 20th, 2017, we will have Donald Trump become America's next president. I am not happy about it. And in fact, I cannot, in good conscience, say that I consider him a legitimate president. Those of you who want to leave, that's your right. Those of you who are patriots, hear me out. The problem I have is that we know there was hacking and interference from Russia and or others. We know that there was voter suppression. We know for a fact many minorities, blacks, Latinos, and others, were intimidated, made to go through unnecessary procedures just to vote. And we know there were votes thrown away. We also know that this so-called electoral college, which was actually set up by our founders to protect all Americans. And ironically, one of their duties is to protect us from an unqualified and unsafe person becoming president. Well, that doesn't happen in America anymore. Most of the men and women in the Electoral College are partisans, whether they're Democrat or Republican. But the abomination and atrocity, and I said atrocity, of this past election is that like 2000, we now have two of the most qualified people who won the popular vote who will not be president. But that's yesterday. But for the record, I support John Lewis, Representative John Lewis, and all Americans that oppose the installation of a president. Now, this may surprise my friends across the political spectrum who may be considered conservatives, libertarians. I believe that America's president should be voted on by the people who are supposed to control America. We, the people. The part that may surprise you is not that. I am fully prepared to accept the winner of a popularly elected winner to be the president. Having said that, if populations were to change, we may get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Republican or another party presidents in a row. I would rather have 100 presidents elected by the popular vote, even if they were all Republican or ultra-conservative, libertarian. I don't care. I would rather have them win by popular vote, by the owners of this nation, which is you, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Green, Conservative, constitutional, independent. You and I are the actual owners of this country. The Electoral College must be abolished. Now, to those who say it would become a popularity contest, if that be the case, let it be done. If we must lose either party 100 elections, it is better to lose 100 or 10,000 elections and have the will of the people than to have an installation of a president. Let me further say this. Part of the duties of the Electoral College, what our founders set up, not me, not Albert Torcaso, our founders, was one of their duties was to not allow an unstable, unprepared man or woman. Let's be honest, they didn't look at women back then. So let's say man. No unprepared man should ever hold that office. No dangerous man. Well, in less than 24 hours, that's what's going to happen. You can argue that maybe I'm just being partisan. But in reality, that's not the case. And here's the thing. The problem is, the Democrats in Congress are guilty, as are the Republicans. I assure you, if Donald Trump had won the popular vote, and guess what? Hillary Clinton had won the Electoral College, I guarantee you, most of the Democratic, I guess they're called electors, even if it was reversed and it was Trump that had the popular vote and Hillary had the Electoral College, and if he was not unstable, let's just say it's a normal election, and let's just say that Trump is legitimate and that he isn't a threat and he was an equally qualified candidate. Let's pretend that were the case. Well, the problem with the Electoral College is it's not nonpartisan. It's very partisan. And I will say this. The Republicans in the Electoral College and the Republicans in Congress, along with many of the Democrats, let's be honest, most of the Democrats, they take no prisoners and win at any cost attitude. You see, if Donald Trump, as much as I don't believe he's qualified or safe, and I've read his book, trust me, I have my reasons. If he had won the popular vote, I may not have liked it, but I would have considered him a legitimate winner. If he had won the popular vote and Hillary got in from the Electoral College, I wouldn't have been happy. You see, it's the spirit of what we are supposed to be, a democracy. We hear from the late Abraham Lincoln, government of, by, and for the people. Well, guess what? You're the people, I'm the people. But that is not what those Electoral College electors had done. All of that being said, as much as I'm concerned that Donald Trump is going to do a lot of damage, and his cabinet and his Supreme Court nominees may affect your children and your grandchildren's grandchildren. And those are terrifying thoughts. But to every Republican out there, every Democrat, every Green, every Libertarian, every American, I want to say something. No government, no party, no politician, no corporation, no institution, no one can ever take away our soul. The only one that could ever take away your soul is you, by giving it to Satan or the devil or whatever you want to call it. So, if the worst case scenario goes down, the world's blown up, whatever, sure, we'll all be dead. This may sound bizarre, but yeah, we'll be dead. But if our soul is secure, if we believe in a higher power, or we come to believe one, and our soul is secure, they can harm us, they can enslave us, they can kill us, but they can never take away our spirit or our soul. And I want to console every American of any political ideology. If Mr. Trump scares you, angers you, disappoints you, whatever you want to add to it, I'm here for you. Yes, my ultra-conservatives, they want to call me every name in the book. I'm reaching out to tell you, I don't hate Republicans. I don't hate Trump. Actions, policy, yes, I disagree with. But this is far larger than Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, or every president that ever has been in office. You see, this is about America. And in the final analysis, what America needs now, hey, I'm Italian, so no offense to my fellow Italians. It's going to sound corny, but what America needs now is love, sweet love. We need to get Democrats and Republicans together, libertarians and green, independents, and all stripes. We need to get the people getting back to the business of making our country the greatest country in the history of humanity. Now, a lot of people think we're there. A lot of people. We're not even close. But we can be. But it's going to take my fellow Americans of every political stripe, every religion, non-religion, sexual orientation, age. You see, in the final analysis, yeah, I'll yell at you. Yeah, I'll let you know when you made a mistake. But I can't hate anyone. Not really. And I really, truly, deep down in my heart, I know that humanity really does matter. I'll be honest with you. There are things that went on in this political election that had me thinking, and still to this point, in some ways, thinking that humanity doesn't matter to many, many people. But you know, in a larger sense, it does. And I'll give you some proof to make you realize, in case you're really bummed out, when there's a catastrophe in America, we don't see gay and straight, rich and poor, Chinese and white, African American, Latino, Muslim, Christian, whatever. We see people in need. And our nation has always been about helping each other. And let me tell you something. In the final analysis, if we want this country to be great or great again, we do it by showing compassion. But I want to be very fair about this. Very fair. There's not one member of Congress that I can honestly say fulfills to the full extent of the law or the full extent of the principle the American dream or working for the people. You might say, well, what do I mean? Well, every one of them makes over $174,000 a year. And that's not including donations or lobbyism, whatever the word is, all that stuff, all that fun stuff. Doesn't include any of that. Their base pay for a fresh woman or a freshman, I don't know what the terminology is. Guess they say freshman even if it's a woman, I don't know. But at any rate, an incoming congressman or woman or senator, every one of them make $174,000. That's Democrat, Independent, Republican. I mean, doesn't matter. And what I find most interesting is that all of them in previous Congresses had an almost unanimous vote in favor of creating a law that guarantees them a raise in law, by law that they created for themselves, by the way. But the last time I checked, and I probably need to check again, they were making $174,000 a year. And with the Affordable Health Care Act, probably going to go bye-byes. My most conservative Republicans, constitutionalists, and libertarians, you should know that every Republican in Congress actually has the ability to get coverage under what they call the Office of the Attending Physician for $503 a year. No co-insurances, no deductibles, no co-pays. There's a lot that's included in that. And it's, by the way, run by the United States Navy. Still, that's government run. Subsidized by the taxpayer. That would be you and I, 75%. And their families can use it. So while everybody's riled up and saying it's socialized medicine, well, guess what? Here's a news flash. Your Republican candidates that ran, Donald Trump included, they sold you a bill of goods. Now, I'm not impressed with the Democrats neither. Which side am I on? What side am I on? Am I on the Republican side? Am I on the progressive side? Am I on the Libertarian or the Green? Oh, if they do a good job, yeah, I'm all in favor of it. I'll stand up and cheer. But what side am I on? That would be yours.